Alright. Hello everyone. How are you all doing today? I myself am doing rather well. In fact, I decided that I would gush over the Joker movie from Todd Phillips because of all the riots going on. It kind of reminded me of this, and just want to make sure that let everyone know that I do not condone any of the riots that happened this past week or anything of that nature. I'm simply talking about one of my favorite movies from last year. In fact, maybe one of my favorite movies of the last 5 years. I can't remember too many that really had me from start to finish. I was uncomfortable to say the least throughout the entire movie, but not never in a bad way. I was really enjoying my time with it completely. So, no, do love this scene too. Uh, Anyways, getting back to it, I was just who knew Todd Phillips had it in him to do such a film, but he did say that this movie is slightly a response to people who say that his brand of comedy is offensive, because which you're not allowed to do is offend people anymore. And I think Joker is one of the best vehicles for that. They do discuss comedy within it, and you know, not in the strictest way possible, just in the hey, Joker sees it differently type of way. And I liked him when he directed the first Hangover movie. I did not watch part two, and part three was decent. I did watch that one. Walking Phoenix, Walking Phoenix. Of course, won Best Actor for this role, and honestly, why shouldn't he? Easy one of the best portrayals of a Joker so far, and thankfully, it stuck to the sort of mythos of the Joker, where you're not quite sure if the story he's telling you is 100% accurate or actually happened most of the time. Like his phrase from The Killing Joke. I, if I had a beginning, or what was it? If I had an origin story, I'd rather it be multiple choice. And they give you enough insanity, I would say, to work with within this movie. There's obviously the scene where he's just hitting his head against the wall in an empty blank room at the beginning. There's, of course, this scene where the ambulance hits his police car, and easily he could have gotten a concussion. Anything after that could be imaginary. The whole tale could be him recounting all these things to the therapist at the very end. So, quite a masterstroke in Joker lore, I would say. Of comic book movies, it really is a cut above the rest, I would say. And you could only really do this with Batman villains, I would say. A lot of them have psychological issues. Even Batman himself, some of my favorite interpretations of Batman is when they interpret him to be just as insane as his villains, when his no kill rule is powered of his psychosis, because he would become like a judge, jury, and executioner, and he might even kill small time villains and things of that nature for setting him off. Funny little side note, the scene where Joker does the blood smile. My niece actually thought he was going to cut his cheeks, therefore have this movie related to the Dark Knight trilogy, which would have been fun. I know it is a separate universe, but it could have been a little nod like that. Otherwise, I don't mind it so much. The You can take liberties with the Joker very easily. The Joker and Batman are very adaptable hero villains. Are very adaptable characters. There we go. I don't know what I was trying to say earlier. The Possibly Joe Chill right there. I actually prefer it when the parents' killer isn't named or the identity is unknown. It was just a random street crime that could have happened to anybody and does happen to so many people here in Gotham. Big complaint about this movie, uh, as I see them getting shot, is that this movie glorifies violence in some way, and I never believed that. But we're easily portrayed as so many people did so many wrongs, but it was just minor mistakes that they each could have corrected. Like the kids beating up on Arthur, they didn't know that that would lead him to just having more bad days ahead. They didn't know he would have more bad days ahead. They were just little shits having some fun. The guys drunk on the subway, they weren't expecting to have a mad laughing clown travel with them to their destination. It's just some crazy guy randomly laughing, and obviously they're drunk. Good thing, I guess they're responsible for not be taking private transportation such as their own cars, but subway travel is pretty heavy in places like New York, so it would be pretty good for Gotham as well. Oh, not pretty good, I mean pretty much used often enough in a city like Gotham, public travel. I know what Todd Phillips tried to make this movie as claustrophobic as possible. I would have liked to actually see the blimps in the sky too. Like he fills the streets with digitally added in buildings to help with that enclosed feeling. What if the skies themselves were cramped airspace with these giant blimps hanging over? But that would be have been more on the unrealistic side, I suppose. Little thing that the animated series had added to the Batman lore, because it was just easier to animate a blimp moving through the sky rather than helicopters and such. Yeah. Oh man. The Murray speech, well, it's not really a speech, the Murray scene where they're just going back and forth, and somewhat both in the right. They're just very much in the different positions that obviously make them opposed to one another. Murray being ready to just make people laugh, and he's a late night host. He doesn't really care about the people he's bringing on. He's somewhat arrogant and things of that nature. The Joker obviously moving off of the deep end and nobody knowing what's going on with that. He just stumbles into these people's lives. Well, not stumbles, he forces his way into these lives when you least expect it. Like how was Bruce supposed to know that some random guy claiming to be his half brother would come in and try to force him to smile by putting his fingers in his mouth? How would Thomas Wayne, who actually treated the situation quite calmly for someone in his position, he had every right to just go off on Arthur when he shows up in the bathroom. The guy who came to his home, touched his son rather inappropriately, and yet he's still calm and tries to discuss things with him. Oh my god. Just an epic scene, and then Arthur's condition breaks out at the worst time, and that's what sets him off because he thinks he's laughing at him, and whether his mother was tricked or not, the adoption papers, um, if the romance was real, just so many things that you could judge one way or another. Gary's scene as well when they come to visit him, and he's just in this white painted face, and he just locks the door as they both enter, puts even the chain where above Gary's reach. Oh my god. Once again, another scene that just made me uncomfortable but engrossed at the same time. Really one of my favorite movies. More scenes to discuss. Subway scene, the first scene. When he punches the clock off the wall. Apparently that was ad-libbed, or yeah, that was done unscripted. He comes back, punches the wall, says, "I forgot to clock out." Or punch out. Punch out? Oh my god. I should have rewatched this movie before doing this review, but I kind of wanted to do it more on the fly, make it more of a natural conversation. Yeah, the "don't forget to smile" sign, he crosses out "forget" and it says "don't smile." Just the perfect storm for a riot to brew, with the disenfranchised looking at a masked figure to be. They never realized it was just supposed to be makeup and such. I hope there wasn't too much dead air in this. I didn't want to make too much of a fuss or anything. I suppose that's about it for right now. I don't want to just drag on the video, especially since I'm not, the scenes that I most want to talk about aren't coming to me instantly and stuff like that. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and leave a like, maybe even subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. If you enjoy content like this, be sure to leave a comment down below and I can try to do some more of these. Otherwise, yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Take care.